Good afternoon, Manchester City fans around the world. Welcome to Matchday Live and welcome to Pep Guardiola's 1000th game in charge. A monumental milestone for arguably one of the greatest managers in football history. The master tactician takes charge of this game, and it couldn't be a more fitting opponent. One of his favourites of his time here in the Premier League. Liverpool are coming to the Etihad. We are building up to the 4:30 kickoff. It goes without saying, it has been nothing but an absolute privilege and joy to have Pep Guardiola as our coach, and what a time we've had with him so far. The titles, the football, the goals. It will live long in many Manchester City fans' memories for the rest of time, and what a team he is assembling here as they are making their way off the bus. Pep Guardiola revolutionised the game in the Premier League with his tick-attacker football, passing out from the back. They said he couldn't do it, but boy did he. He has won 6 Premier League titles, a Champions League, countless records broken and continue to be broken. And he'll be hoping to do the same this season, as will that man who is in imperious form, Erling Haaland. And who's the last man off the bus today? Ooh, there he is, Ryan Cherky. And ladies and gentlemen, I can reveal that man does start today. Let me bring you our starting 11. Here's how we're lining up against Liverpool, friends. In goal, who else? Gigi Donnarumma between the sticks. As we move to defence, Mateus Nunes keeps his place at right back. Great season from him so far. And he comes back into the fold. Ruben Diaz starts today alongside Josko Gvardiol as our centre-back partnership. And completing the back four, the young man from Manchester, Nico O'Reilly. Moving into midfield, Nico Gonzalez in the holding role. Alongside Nico, Bernardo Silva comes back into the starting 11, and we know he loves this game against Liverpool. Who else but Phil Foden after them 2 goals in the middle of the week against Dortmund. Ryan Cherky as well. Got a goal when he came off the bench against Dortmund. Jeremy Doku also starts. And it is the 100th appearance for that man, our number 9, Erling Haaland. Now, before we come to us in the studio, let's go to FG.
Yes, thank you, Kel. As you can see, I'm here at Manchester Regional Arena on what promises to be a special day for not just Manchester City, also our manager, Pep Guardiola. There's loads going on around the stadium, and I mean loads. I'm being put to work because there's so many legends around that I'll be speaking to. Also, the editors of the programme will be joining me close to kick-off. Now, you're probably wondering what I'm doing here. Well, as you can see behind me, our absolutely incredible military veterans from City in the community are in the process of doing 80 laps today for Remembrance Sunday. I'm joined by Jay. Welcome to Matchday Live.
Thank you.
First things first, how are you feeling?
We're good. We're in good form, good fettle. We're near the end. We can see the finish line, so we're almost there.
So since 9 a.m. this morning, you've been doing this laps. Just for everybody watching on Matchday Live, what is the purpose of all of this?
So the reason we're doing it is obviously we're all military veterans. We play for City in the community. The idea is we've got 80 cans of food, which we're carrying on a stretcher at the moment. That's going to be then donated back to the community, so we're going to the Manchester City Food Bank.
I mean, you're doing absolutely incredible work, Jay. It's fantastic to see. You're looking great, spirits, all of you. You're all making loads of noise. What's it like being with these guys? Because you're all military veterans, but you're all friends, and like you said, you're with City in the community and various things. Do you say you play for them as well?
Yeah, that's correct. So we train on a Tuesday, sometimes play matches and stuff as well. So that's something that we have in common. So it's not just the fact that we do challenges and stuff. We've got the camaraderie of actually playing football together as well.
Playing football together as well. Any tips on who is the best player in the team?
Definitely not me. I captain him, mate, but I'm not the best. I've just got the biggest mouth.
Well, Jay, listen, absolute pleasure speaking to you. I'm going to come and join you on the victory lap. Kel, let's head back to you. This is absolutely incredible what's going on here at the Regional Arena.
Sorry, Kel, that's the first time I've seen FG in a running track.
Well, we had to see it at some point. We got that in the locker. What a start to the show, and what a joy it is to not only be with you, Manchester City fans, but be alongside these 2 Manchester City legends and dear friends, Mr. Paul Dickov and Mr. Shaun Wright-Phillips. Good afternoon. And just a very special mention again to our military veterans there from City in the community, of course, on Remembrance Sunday, doing incredible work. Don't fancy doing 80 laps though. I'm very happy being sat here in the studio, gents. Where to begin? Well, with Pep Guardiola. Paul, I tried to kind of summarise at the start, but can we fully capture the impact that Pep has had, not just on the Premier League, but on football?
Not here, not just in the Premier League, but I think on a global basis, you know. And I think to hit 1,000 games, there's many managers that have done it, Cel, and but to do it at the level he's at Barcelona, Bayern Munich and then Man City, and to win the trophies he's done after 1,000 games. And it's no disrespect to other managers, you know, you've got David Moyes, Neil Warnock's, all people like that who have been outstanding. The longevity has been great, but to do it at that level for that long and still be there and still having an influence 10 years later on not just what's happening here in Man City and here at the Etihad, but on the Premier League, it's you can run out of words talking about him and saying how incredible it is. And you know, we've just been, remember when he came, everybody was saying we're so lucky to have him, and his contract was coming up, people are saying let's just enjoy him for the time that we've got him. Don't think about what's going to happen when he leaves, and he's still here. You know, and he looks as hungry and as enthusiastic and as determined as ever to still win things.
Really does it almost, I mean, it's almost, you could argue that he's almost building now, he's part of, like, started a new project, which hopefully means that he might be here for a little bit longer. We hope, we pray. I mean, echoing what you've kind of said there, Paul and Shaun, this is amazing. 1,000 games, 715 of those were wins, so that's for Barca B, Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Manchester City. 42 trophies, which equivalates to a trophy every 24 games, 18 with City.
Sounds amazing, isn't it?
It's phenomenal.
It's frightening. It's so remarkable that, like Paul said, that I don't think words can explain it. Because when Paul mentions the impact he's had on football on a global stage, you have to think of, you go to kids' games that are like 7 years old and they play out from the back. That didn't exist. So he's taught the world a better way to play the game that everybody loves so much. And the impact he's had on me, just watching him from his days at Barcelona and the way he had it, was just exciting. It made me become a Barcelona fan, and I think he's done that at City. Not only the way City have played or won their games, because he's there in the style of football they play, people now want to follow City from a young age. He's fascinating and fantastic.
It's the ways the rebuilds that he's done as well.
Yeah.
You know, I remember going back to the very start, how are we going to replace Vincent?
Yeah.
You know, we're never going to be able to. How Fernandinho, Rodri comes in. Sergio, David Silva. You know, we're never going to be as good as that. But somehow he's replaced them and got better and more successful. And I think we're seeing that now as well. I think well documented last season, but I can see signs of this team, the age they're at, because the signings are all done at the right age. The experience to go alongside that and the quality and the strength and depth in the squad, I can see is really kicking on again. And as I said, his enthusiasm after 1,000 games to go and win. Some people would win all the trophies and think, do you know what, I've had enough, I don't need, I'll just sit in my seat and watch, let everybody else do it. But he's up there and he's driving them forward all the time, and that mentality is the thing that doesn't just rub off the team, it rubs off on the fans and the whole club.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you say, actually all the wider staff as well, his passion and his dedication. And also, and you'll both appreciate and understand this more than anyone though, we're talking about that on like a, you know, on a global aspect with football, but there's not a player that doesn't get trained under him that doesn't improve, and that's, I guess, also one of his other great assets is him as a one-to-one coach for any individual footballer is quite phenomenal.
He's a teacher. He's almost a teacher. He knows how to get the best out of the players that he wants in that team. And like you said, people always used to say, City spend so much money and they buy all these amazing players. And I have to say to him, hold on a minute. Like, did you even know about Vincent Kompany before he came to City? Did you know about David Silva? Did you know about all these players? Julian Alvarez, nobody knew about him.
Yeah.
But he seems to bring the best qualities, and he lets players basically fulfill the potential that everybody speaks about. And to be able to do that as a manager is an achievement on its own. But then to put it into a team and have the same impact on not only the 11 players that are starting, but the subs. I remember being a sub. Sometimes when you're a sub and you come on the pitch, it's probably the hardest thing to do. You can't catch your wind, you can't get up to speed as quick. But I feel like when he makes subs, all the players, it's like they just slide in seamlessly. It's weird that they're always at that level, and that's just a testament to Pep and all of his coaching staff that he's had around him.
Obviously, I know we're slightly biased on here. Is he the best manager of all time?
I think so.
In football?
Yeah, I personally think so.
Yeah.
And the Premier League, and it's no disrespect to Arsene Wenger's and especially Sir Alex, and people like that. The Premier League the last 4 or 5 years have been the hardest one to win.
Yeah.
You know, there was always, back in the day when Sir Alex, and there were always maybe 2 teams. It was Jose against Arsene or Sir Alex against Jose.
Yeah.
It was United, Chelsea. There was nothing else. 5, 6 years ago it was a top 4. Now it's a top 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
The quality of the Premier League that strong. So to keep the consistency and getting better. And go back to what Shaun said about making players better. Even the ones that were here. You know, I didn't think Kevin De Bruyne could have got any bit better than what he was.
Yeah, yeah.
And under Pep, he stepped his game up to a different level. Sergio done it, David Silva done it. These were already world-class players.
Yeah.
And he's come in and he's improved them somehow. Well, I don't know how, but he has. Because they're at the top of the game already. Yeah. And then the other thing is, about the bench, you know, when you've got a squad of 25 world-class players, you have 25 big egos in there as well. Nothing ever comes out about people being unhappy at not playing.
No. Yeah.
They all know, and he obviously sits and explains to them about the games, the amount of games they're going to play, why they're on the bench, who's starting, when they're going to start. And then after he's explained it once, I don't think he has to again, because they all buy into it.
Yes.
Yeah. And to have that group of world-class players, as I said with the Eagles, to buy into that for such a long time, that's why for me he's up there with the very best.
It's a testament to him. And the other part of it is then also with young players. You know, when we talked about them world-class players there, but then you look at what he did with Phil Foden from 16, 17 years old. What we're seeing now, Pep kind of made that happen. He created the path for him, along with so many others as well.
Definitely nurtured him, I would say, the perfect way.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't the right way, it was the perfect way, especially in terms of for Phil. And he's doing the same thing again with Nico O'Reilly, in the way he's bringing him in and pulling him out. And look how Nico O'Reilly's come on, in a completely position that is foreign to him. Yeah. I don't think he's ever played left back until he broke into City's first team. No. And the fact that the information that Pep can give them allows them to grow and be able to have the confidence to play in positions that they don't know and be successful at it is just another string to his bow, basically. Yeah,
he is phenomenal. Well, I mean, I think I speak on behalf of all Manchester City fans and say how lucky we are to have Pep Guardiola as our manager. In Pep we trust. And thank you, Pep. And let's hope we get a win for him today. Now, we're going to be digging into the team news in just a second, but I wanted to bring you this because FG was down at the pitch earlier with Liverpool and City player Robbie Fowler. So let's see how FG got on with Robbie.
Yes, thank you very much, Kel. As you can see, I'm pitchside at the SN. It's with great pleasure to say I'm joined by a man who's represented both clubs, Liverpool and Manchester City, Robbie Fowler. Robbie, welcome to Matchday Live.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Special day ahead. I mean, there's one place to start, and it's with Pep Guardiola and 1,000 games as a manager. I mean, what an incredible, incredible achievement.
I mean, I don't think you can pay him enough compliments. I mean, he's an absolute phenomenal manager. I think what he's achieved over the years, what he's achieved certainly at this club, I mean, it's been extraordinary, hasn't it? Really has. I mean, when you think of, I mean, he's won the treble in Spain, he's won it in Germany, and he's obviously won it here. He's up there with the best ever, isn't he? Absolutely.
I mean, another man who's up there with the best ever was a man who was so big on his compliments this week, and it was Liverpool's former manager Jurgen Klopp. When we talk about and take a step back from that battle that they had together, Jurgen and Pep, it was special because it was two special managers, two special teams, all vying for the same thing.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why the teams are so good, you know, competing against each other. The managers were brilliant, so obviously wanting to get one over on the other. The teams were doing that on the pitch, and we've seen performances not only in the Premier League, but, you know, in obviously Champions League. Some of the games here, and certainly at Anfield, were brilliant, and, you know, we still talk about them now. You know, it's two great clubs. The recent history with City and what they've won and what they've achieved, and I think for any manager to try and sort of measure and, you know, try and measure on you know, on those forms and those terms, it's going to be a tough ask. And I mean, Jurgen Klopp sort of run them close lots and lots of times, so I think they were very, very good for each other.
Yeah, they were indeed, and they brought the best out of each other, and one team that were the best in the Premier League last season were Liverpool and Arne Slot's side. How do you see the game going today?
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game. I'm going to go for a score and draw, to be fair, and obviously I know we're obviously on Man City TV, and, you know, I think, you know, there's probably going to be a little bit of bias from myself, and I don't think people would give me any stick saying that, you know, I'm here as a Liverpool fan, obviously, but I've got a lot of fond memories at City, and over the years, sort of, I do want, if Liverpool aren't going to win, then obviously I want City to win. So I'm getting everyone back on the team, on my side here. So today's game will be tough. I think the recent form of both teams has been excellent. I know they've had tough starts, both of them, but you see the last performances and results have been great. So it puts us in good stead for this game. I think it'll be. I'm going for a score and draw actually, so I'm going to go for a 2-2. But I think we could probably walk away from here and not be surprised if any team wins, because that's the magnitude of these games. It's the quality of these teams, and we know with obviously the players Man City have, in terms of the big man up top, Haaland. If he plays well and scores goals, then it's going to be difficult for Liverpool. It really is, but it's a great game and one that I can't wait to get going.
Yeah, I think from a Manchester City perspective, we'll all agree that we're very, very grateful for what you did for us here in Sky Blue. Now let's keep on the topic of strikers then. Erling Haaland you've mentioned, and the big man up top just doesn't stop scoring.
Yeah.
But Liverpool also are fantastic in terms of their recruitment. Isak, a lot of people have spoken about him. Ekitike not so much, but he looks like very, very good value for money.
Yeah, Ekitike's probably been the standout player for me for Liverpool. I think you coming into Liverpool, and you'll know with obviously watching Man City, the weight of these jerseys and weight of playing for these clubs, can be daunting and can be really heavy for a lot of players. Ekitike's coming, he's the ground runner, he's scored goals, he's been in Anfield, and he's probably been Liverpool's brightest spark this year, really has. And obviously we don't know what's going to happen today in terms of who's going to play. The managers have got history of playing teams that no one thinks, well, what's he doing there? But I would be surprised if Ekitike doesn't play, and he is an handful for any defence.
And speaking on the jerseys being heavy, Phil Foden is back in the England squad now, deservedly so. This season he's looked a lot more like himself. His qualities as a player, as a fellow Englishman as well. What do you see that you like of Phil?
I love watching them. I love players who get you on the edge of your seat and excite you. Players who can go past people, players who are clever enough and have the right temperament to match their occasion. And I think with obviously Phil Foden being an absolute City legend and playing here and dominating teams, for the amount of time he has, he's an exceptional player. He really is. And back in the England squad, he should never have been out of the England squad. I love watching him. He is, for me, a real special talent and a real player that you want to see do well, because you enjoy watching players like that. He's an incredible player. I love watching him. He
is indeed. Now, speaking of incredible players, we've got two of them in our studio, Shaun Wright-Phillips and Paul Dickov. Now, as a striker, of course, playing with the likes of someone like Shaun Wright-Phillips would have been a lot of fun, and also having Paul Dickov there as well. Yeah. You've got a message to send to them as we head back?
Well, of course. I think both of them are superstars. I played with Wrighty for a long time, and when I was at City, he was the absolute standout player, and I think he knows that, because I think we told him enough times. A real phenomenal player who probably, I know he made games. There could be obviously a game that was sort of dying on a whim, and then Wrighty'd pop up and do everything. And Dicky. I've known him for years, sort of on and off the pitch, and he's a superstar to be round, and he knows that anyway. So what I'm telling you, you all know that anyway, mate. Hopefully I'll see you soon, because we need to catch up, both of you. So hope you're both good chaps.
Well, how about we can catch up in the Matchday Live studio again soon? Fantastic to see you, Robbie. Thank you so much. And let's head over to Kel. What a guest we've just had.
Oh, what a guest indeed, and what a lovely message. I tell you, how much did you pay him for that?
He's a ledge, man.
Robbie's
a ledge.
I was a bit worried when you said he had a message for us. I wasn't expecting it to be that nice, actually, but do you know what? What a guy, but what a goal scorer as well. We're talking about Erling and all the fantastic goal scorers we've had. He's up there with the very best.
And he was saying, obviously, Shaun, he kind of played quite a bit with you. What was he like to play with? And also, obviously, his time here at City, he was obviously a player that we didn't really have any calibre of that player, really.
It was amazing to play with, because he was, like Dickie said, that striker, that left foot, right foot, header. He just knew where to find the goal, and I just followed him, basically. And it's an honour to play with someone like that, because you got to think, when I was first coming through, on TV, everything was Fowler and Steve McManaman at Liverpool. They were basically running the show there. And then when he came here, it was almost a privilege to play on the same pitch as him, because he was unbelievable.
Yeah. He's the most natural finisher I've seen.
Yeah.
as Shaun, he didn't need 2 chances. You give him one, half a yard gone. Yeah.
And when you say natural finish as well, is that just like as in without even having to really train? It was just like it was
just instinct.
It's just casual. Yeah.
The most instinctive striker I can remember seeing him. And a great lad as well. I've done my coaching badges with Robbie. We've done a re-licence together, and I know he still wants to get back in, and I think I'm going to put a bit out there for him.
Yeah,
you know, I know he's been asking to get interviews for a job, and I just think his experience, what he's done in the game, that nobody's...
His assistant? Would you be his assistant?
Sporting director, mate.
Gents, the starting 11 is on the bottom of your screen. If you've just tuned in, it's myself with Paul, with Shaun. We're building up to this 4:30 kickoff against Liverpool. It's an unchanged team from Bournemouth, and I wasn't surprised at that. Are you happy with the team you've seen on the screen there?
I'm delighted. I thought Bournemouth's performance was fantastic, especially off the back of the Villa defeat. Bournemouth second in the league at the time as well. You know, they were absolutely flying, tough team to play against. I thought it was really, really impressive. And you know, Pep obviously trusts that team, trusts that system against a really good Liverpool team today, and I'm excited by it.
Yeah.
You know, I think Doku, Foden, Cherky, Haaland, Silva, all in the same team. I think it smells goals to me.
It smells goals, and also that was kind of one of the greatest strengths of those 6 players you mentioned there, is the fluidity between them. Meant that they kind of just, if one went over to the right, then Cherky would come into the middle, and then if he ended up on the left, then Doku was happy to be in the middle. Is that kind of one of the greatest strengths? Obviously, we know what they're like individually, but as a combined 6 almost.
Yeah, but if you think about it, that's got elements. Of course, with Haaland in it, it changes a little bit, but all that rotation that you talk about has got elements of when we played with a false 9. That's why we were so hard to mark, because the players were taking defenders into areas they couldn't go because they would leave gaps. And if they do go, they ended up getting punished. And when I watched them against Bournemouth and then I watched them against Borussia Dortmund, we seemed more aggressive. We was on the front foot. When we had a chance to go and create something, the actions that were happening, we were finishing with either a shot or a cross. And it was nice to see, and it was entertaining. And I think if we do that today, we will cause Liverpool some serious problems, because as we know, I know they're getting back to form. They do still give up chances, and we all spoke off air earlier on in the show. And if you get them, you've got to take them to them.
Yes, yeah.
It's a massive game, and the things that we've seen them do over the years, I think we're not too far away from seeing it back at this club.
Yeah, I agree. When I was with Steph for the Borussia Dortmund game, the one player we said has to come back into the starting 11 is Bernardo Silva. He really is key today, not just obviously in being captain, but his energy and the way he performs in big fixtures, Paul.
It does, and against Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
He always seems to, if you can say, raise his game a little bit more, but I think he knows the importance now of him being captain.
Yeah.
Importance of him leading by example with the younger players in the team now as well.
Yeah.
And just his energy levels. You know, as you said before, that he'll probably start in the middle, but he'll be bobbing up on the left wing, the right wing. He'll be getting the ball off the centre half. So he'll be everywhere in there. And I think that rotation in the middle of the park is going to be really important today. But his leadership skills and just how he is.
Yeah.
You know, he's like a bottle of pop into, he's shaking, fizz it, and he goes and runs around everywhere and he's here. But with the quality he's got with that as well, and I just love him. And I think every time in his team sheet, I'm really confident, because we do look a better team with all the other stars we've got.
And speaking of milestones, I mean, of course, we're celebrating Pep's 1,000th game in charge, but now with Bernardo's appearance today, he now becomes the 3rd leading player to make an appearance in a Manchester City shirt. Obviously behind there, of course, David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne in the Premier League. Bernardo, so very fitting as well.
It couldn't be more fitting for a player like him, and he very rarely gets injured as well, to be honest with you. The amount of running he does, he's got that little tenacity, that little angry side to him, is where he will leave a bit on, sort of a little bit like Paul, basically.
With ability.
Yeah. With that, like, and it's fantastic to watch. But the one I would say I'm really looking forward to watching today is Cherky.
Yeah.
I think in the short spell that he's been at the club, his output has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
And once he gets up and running, that link up between him and Haaland is going to be scary.
Yeah.
Because he's instinctual. The passes he plays, the passes he sees, and the hair, look, he just glides past him, both feet. takes it and dispatches it beautifully, and I think he could be a problem for Liverpool.
Well, and also we get. I think he's only 21, maybe 21. I think, as you say, he's had a little bit of an injury as well, so he's only kind of just starting to get going. But we do look like we could have here one of those special talents in world football, Paul. Not to like big him up too much, but it feels that way with his ability.
It does, and you know, I remember watching him playing for France just before the Club World Cup, and then he made his debut and he scored and got assists, and he was thinking, wow, who is this guy? Yeah. And then the Club World Cup, seen a little bit of it, unfortunately picked up his injury. But now, as you say, it looks as if he's been here for 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And he's probably not integrated himself. He's probably like 70%.
Yeah.
As in match fitness as well. But wow, what a talent!
Yeah.
Well, what a superstar he's going to be. You know?
And Haaland's also spoke about that there is. I mean, there's been a few comparisons, but he's got kind of, you know, almost like a bit of dribbling close to someone like a Messi, but then he's got the vision and the ability to play a pass like Kevin De Bruyne. And there's only a rare few players that can do that.
And I think that is the thing. In many ways, this team needed. He's that player that will grab the game by the scruff of the neck and feel like, I can make something happen, I can win this game. And the years that went by, I think, where City won all the titles and the trophies, there was 11 of them.
Yeah.
He's going to be the start to bring them all back. He's helped Phil Foden in many ways raise his game because of competition. Phil don't want to come out of the team. So Phil, you see Phil's goals in the middle of the week, they were basically identical, and we've all been screaming when they're outside the box, shoot.
Pull the trigger. Yeah.
Now we've got 2 players behind Haaland that will pull the trigger, basically.
Yeah.
And pull it with real quality. So I think it's fascinating.
Speaking of taking the game by the scruff of the neck, one player who used to do that, as you both very well know, is of course one of our own, Andy Morrison. And I would not like to have been grabbed by the scruff of the neck by him.
He used to take everybody by the scruff of the neck.
Metaphorically and physically. He's down pit, literally just behind us down there is FG and Andy Morrison. A good afternoon, gents. Andy, how are we feeling for the game today, sir?
How are you feeling for the game today? They just asked in the studio. Andy's not got his ears in because he doesn't need them, essentially. He just sees things everywhere. Like you said, grab the game by the scruff of the neck, like Cel said. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous. Obviously, big game, you know, I mean, every game here, you know, we're expected to come and win. But the last couple of times we played Liverpool, they've been very, very good. And last year, you know, we were poor, I thought, at home. But I think it's a different squad, there's a different energy around the place at the moment, and I'm really excited about it. But I think a healthy nervousness about actually the size of this game.
Now, I mean, we're looking at, like you said, the size of this game. Do you think the magnitude went up even higher last night when the league leaders Arsenal dropped points in the last minute?
100%. I went into this game thinking at the weekend, if it finishes the same difference in points, I think it's a good weekend. And, you know, with Arsenal having to come here, I think it's finally balanced. And this is a huge, huge game this is today.
Well, let's bring the studio back in then, shall we? Cel, Shaun and Paul, because before we go any further and talk about the game, we've heard a little story about Shaun Wright-Phillips, and I don't know whether it's true or not, but honestly, I am not happy at all, Shaun. Apparently, Manchester City legend Shaun Wright-Phillips, he just said Andy's lost. Andy knows exactly what I'm about to say. Manchester City legend Shaun Wright-Phillips forgot his pass and couldn't get anywhere around the stadium. What do you think of that, Andy?
I have had that problem before, and I said I'm a mate of Paul Dickov, so I just got in. You know, it was no problem.
Did you try that line, Shaun? Like saying that you were a mate of Paul's?
First of all, I didn't have a pass. Media, the studio people had the pass. It has nothing to do with me.
So where's your pass?
On my bag there.
So
I didn't have it. Because I don't take it home. I don't take it to London.
So you do realise if you leave it here, you still need it to get in.
Yeah, they just bring it downstairs.
Too animated, you know. Andy, come up here and sort Shaun out like you used to do back in the day, please.
I mean, listen, Cel's requesting you go up to the studio and sort Shaun out like you used to do back in the day. I mean, did you have your own pass? To get into the stadium?
Yeah,
and do you take it home with you, or do you leave it in the studio?
I keep it with me. I keep it with me.
Yeah, you keep it with you.
Just in case I can't get in.
I can see it, actually. It's just down there as well. All right, so let's see where this game's going to be won and lost then, when we're talking about on the pitch. Of course, we've seen both of our teams, unchanged for City, and that's 100 games for Jeremy Doku, by the way. That's gone so quick, hasn't it?
Yeah, and it is. And, you know, he's a form, of course, Haaland's getting the plaudits, Foden, but Doku has been a major threat this year, and I think everybody rightly so is talking about probably the most exciting wide man in world football for me at the minute. Not blue tinted glasses, but he excites me every time he gets the ball. He's really positive. His decision making is better, and there's an end product now, where we knew that he can skin fullbacks. What he did to Trent last year destroyed him, but there's still the end product to come, and this year it's been much better.
And the pace he's got as well. I mean, we saw it firsthand. We've seen it firsthand numerous times this season. But I want to take you back to the game against. Well, let's have a look at this clip actually of Doku's pace right now, then, shall we? Just to see exactly what we get with him. I mean.
I'm telling you what, I'm going to give you a race. I swear I could get close to that.
Right, listen. Yeah, well done, student. Let me just tell you what happened to me. So everyone who's watching Matchday Live, I'm carrying on doing my job, speaking to the great Andy Morrison, and I hear in my ear, let's take a look at Doku's pace, shall we?
It's harsh, but I'll tell you what, I managed to get a few games in the Premier League. I wasn't a lot quicker than that.
I promise you I would beat you in a race if I didn't have these on, because these are like trousers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't think you would.
I don't think I would either, but thank you very much. I mean, why is Shaun laughing? Look, Shaun's just laughing. Gael's just laughing.
FG, just quickly.
100 appearances for Jeremy Doku. You can see based...
Paul wanted to know were you running for the toilet, because it looked like...
Paul wanted to know whether I was running for the toilet or not. I'll let you deal with that one. No, but anyway, we've just been set up here. It's a good job Andy's not got ears in. 100 appearances for Jeremy Doku. You can probably see why I've got 0 appearances so far. I mean, one thing we want to end up with, though, very quickly, is talking about set pieces, like you mentioned.
Yeah, well, I think it's obviously we got the set play coach. You'll know how they set up. I've just got this sneaky feeling in my stomach that things are going to come down to them fine moments. It's going to be closely balanced, evenly balanced game. But I think the detailing around set plays is going to play a huge part in that.
And when you look at defending set pieces and stuff, they've obviously got Kanate, they've got Van Dijk, we've got Ruben Diaz, we've got Josko Vardiol. 2 guests in the studio, Shaun Wright-Phillips.
Well, I have thought about that, FG, and I'm looking at the pair of them now, and I think there's about 5'12" between the two of them. So I would have Wrighty on top of Dickie's shoulders, and I would put him in at the near post as just like some sort of blocker.
Same height as Erling Haaland when you do that, right? And he goes to the front post as well. What do you make of that, guys?
Well, I'll get into that then, and we're going to come back to you in a little bit as well, FG. Thank you to FG and Andy. Obviously, you'll be on your commentary in a little bit. Now, speaking of, I'm kind of mentioned the set pieces, but speaking for City's defence, they are going to be tested today because we also know how potent Liverpool are going forward. You mentioned Ekatike, Shaun.
Yeah.
City are going to have to be pretty resolute.
Yeah, we got no choice. I think you can't shy away from the quality that Liverpool have in that team. Not even just down the middle in the wide areas, the running power in the midfield. That when they get those set pieces, and we've got a smaller team today, with Cherki coming in and obviously Phil in there and Doku, we've lost a little bit of height, and Virgil and Kanate alongside Ekatike are like problems from set pieces. So we need to make sure we do defend them right.
We do, not just set pieces, I think, as a whole. I think in shape. When we lose the ball, we're going to have to be really hard to break it down. But I'm looking forward to, I think the matchups in wide areas for both teams are going to be really exciting today.
Yes.
Matheus Nunes, I think, has been outstanding this season.
I agree.
It looks as if he's probably going to be up against Wirtz.
Yeah.
If you're looking at their team. On the other side, obviously Nico's up against Salah.
Yeah.
And then going forward, Cherki and Doku against Bradley and Robertson.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I know the lads, or Andy was hinting about the middle of the park and the energy and everything else. I think that's where the games could be won and lost in there.
Yeah, completely. It's going to be very, very tasty indeed. Shall we have a little look at the Liverpool team news then? As you mentioned there, we can reveal that Wirtz did start. So Alisson, of course, is injured. So you've got Mamardashvili in net. Then we've got Connor Bradley, Virgil van Dijk, Kanate and Robertson at the back. Gravenberg, McAllister and Salah with Szoboszlai, Wirtz and Ekatike. That is the 11 there. So there's your back 4. As you mentioned, Connor Bradley and Andy Robertson, they're going to have some big challenges today against their wingers. I wanted to mention Gravenberg really makes Liverpool tick. I think he's going to be key alongside McAllister today.
He's massively important. I think you saw that in the games that they had without him. the defenders were left wide open a lot of times, and they suffer the consequences of that. But with him in there, not only his driving power on the ball, but the way he helps them tick and the way he defends helps that back line feel a lot more secure. So he's a massive plus for them.
I think Gravenberch and McAllister have got a big job today.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Wirtz and Salah, they don't want to run back.
Yeah.
They don't want to run back, and I think if they're going to leave Doku one-on-one with Conor Bradley, and Cherky, if it's Cherky on that side, one-on-one, with Núñez going forward, with naturally Nico Riley going to go forward, they two central midfields, they're going to have to get through some work today to try and go out and protect the full-backs as well. You know, so I've got to do that consistently, but then it's going to leave a hole. So I think their shape's going to be really important to them today, because I think we could drag them around and look for the spaces.
Well, looking at that shape, and I think we'll try. I think we can bring up the team, but you know, there's been a lot of conversation as well around Wirtz. I mean, he's kind of in like that 10 position, but on the left-hand side. But do you think naturally he's more suited in the middle, or will there be a bit of fluidity there, do you think, between him and Szoboszlai, who I also think has been brilliant this season?
For me, Wirtz will definitely play wide, but he doesn't stay wide. I think if you saw them in the Champions League against Real Madrid, which I thought Wirtz played really, really well. He didn't score, but he worked his socks off, which was a sign of him getting used to the tempo and the way Liverpool want to play. We know the quality he has, and there's no doubt that that quality may come out today. Whether there's something at the end of it, who knows? But it will be tough. He won't just stay out there. But Mateus has got him for pace, so he isn't going to try and beat him. He just has to make sure he keeps his eye on the ball,
Paul, you just mentioned there as well, and as I say, picked up on it. I mean, Szoboszlai, I mean, he's seems to have played in quite a few positions, but you said there is Liverpool's best player this season.
I think he has been,
I agree.
And look, he's played him at right back, and he's still been their best player. I think in the middle of the park, his energy levels are fantastic. You know, he's big, he's strong, but he's got great quality about him as well. And you know, if McAllister talking about or Gravenberch do get dragged out of position, he's still got energy to get back in there and help them out as well. So I think he's been fantastic. But even looking at it again there, Wirtz, I think he's going to come inside.
Yeah, he will.
But that's going to, on the other side, it's going to be risk and reward.
Yes.
You know, leaving Robertson possibly 2v1 a lot with Núñez, and let it be Cherky, Phil going out there, Bernardo Silva going out there. So tactically, it's going to be really interesting.
Really interesting. Yeah. And also, the other, and we're talking about, you know, our forward players, they're ones as well. And you mentioned before the show even started, Ekitike has had a great start to his Liverpool career.
Yeah, I knew about him before he came. I didn't realise how good he actually was. For me, I think out of the two of them, I would most probably say he's better than Isaac as an all-round player, than what he brings to that Liverpool team. His hold-up play, his maverick attitude with his little like flicks and tricks and the things he tries. He just seems to play the game with so much confidence, and he's very, very quick. And I've noticed a lot of strikers don't do it, a lot of attacking players don't do it, but when he gets past the defender, the first thing he does normally is try to cut across the defender to slow that defender's pace down, and that buys him a bit more time to slow down. He's a very composed finisher.
And generally, I mean, Paul, you mentioned tactically it's going to be such a match-up, and then you've also got to look at both benches and go, well, probably when you get into the second half as well, there's going to be a whole new kind of dimension and change that will come at some point as well from both managers again.
Well, the strength and depth in both teams is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, the Isaac that can come off the bench, but actually look at our bench, I think a bit more threatening, a bit more quality on it. But for both managers, it's not a bad thing to have, is it? You know, if things aren't going quite right, to have a bench full of world-class players that can come on and either help them win the game, change the game, or see the game out.
Where can you see it being won or lost today? Sure.
Well, I'm a winger, aren't I? So I'm. You know what my answer's going to be. But no, yeah, I'm along with Paul. I think the wing areas, especially for us today, is massively important. There will be a lot of overloads because that's the way City seem to play. They try to, when they do get wide, they try to overload or try to leave in one-on-one. And I think if Doku has the game that he had against Liverpool, that obviously like he played against Trent, I don't think there's many defenders that can stop him on that form.
No, not at all.
And the passes that he puts into the box now are getting a lot cleverer and wiser. And I remember I did an interview with him for the Premier League at the training ground, and I was just speaking to him about like things that I might have done or vice versa. And that pass that he played, I think it was to Phil Foden, I think it might have been against Aston Villa, possibly, where there's 2 men on him, and I think he just passes it into a space, and like Phil just puts it in the net. And I said to him, like, what did you see there? I said, because for me as a winger, I saw the byline, and that pass that you played wasn't on. How did you know? Like, because the picture changes all the time. And he said, you know what? I'm just in a better place. Like, my confidence, I'd see it, and I think I can get it there, and I just do it now. And that's him this year. He's seeing things, he's playing it, he's making important passes that end up in goals. Whereas last year, in many ways, you would pull your hair out because he's done so much fantastic stuff, and then he will get there, and he might pick the wrong option. Whereas now, everything he does it seems to be coming on.
Yeah, it feels devastating. And also, I mean, we had a clip with Dedrick Boyata, and he was speaking about, at the moment, and bearing in mind this is a Belgian team with Kevin De Bruyne, and he's saying he is Belgium's main man. I mean, you kind of can't get higher praise, but he is playing that way, as Shaun said, Paul.
It is, and going back to Shawnee's point, saying there was 2 players on him, you know, it's the overloads that we create, that's going to be really important. Yeah. You know, if they double up on Jeremy Doku, we've got Phil, we've got Bernardo, we've got Cherky to make the little third man runs into the space between the centre halves. If they don't, the fullback's in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, they do not want to be left one-on-one. And now that the centre halves don't want to come out, they don't want to come out of their position anyway. So I think Liverpool's discipline from them, what I spoke about, repeating myself in that wide areas, they've got to really help the fullbacks out today, because they've got two players. One is Doku, who's probably been our best player this season. Most threatening player this season, which is crazy to say with the big man's goals. And Ryan Cherky is just an absolute superstar who can change the game in a minute.
Then we can actually, we're going to bring up, while we're on Doku, let's have a look at some of these assists. And as a defender as well, you just it must be frightening to look at him coming up against you.
Yeah, you got to think about it. He's not only explosive, his first 3 steps are probably the quickest I've seen in a very long time, but then you got to think about how strong he actually is.
Yeah.
So normally defenders can usher wingers out. With him you can't, because he gets underneath your arm, and that ball there that he plays in, like, he knows areas now. He's hitting areas, he knows where he understands where his teammate's going to be, he understands where they want the ball. And that's what he does. He sees a gap and he plays it into that area. Haaland's movement for that was incredible as well, because he kind of checks and then comes, and it kind of comes round. But the technique to finish it, the quality on the cross allowed Haaland's technique to be that good, because it wasn't bouncing. It was a crisp, low side-footed cross into the box, and it allowed Haaland to step into it.
You can probably make the point, and obviously this is still very early on, but if he sustains this level, or if he almost gets even better and keeps having an end product, you could go as far to say, is there a better winger in football at the moment?
I agree. I do, and he's change of pace from a standing position.
Yeah, it's scary.
I mean, Shaun is very similar. You slow people down, then there's nothing you can do to catch him. And the biggest thing's end product. I mean, the assist that he's getting now, we were maybe a little bit frustrated last season because he would do all the good things and there would be nothing at the end of it. But you can tell that he's matured, you can tell he's worked at his game. Even the way he talked, I listened to him talk now last season, he seems a lot more focused and intent of making himself better all the time, and we're seeing it. And in a season that's been fairly good so far, he has been the standout player for us.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. One man who I would like to have seen maybe try and defend against him is Gael Clichy, and he's actually here today at the Etihad. FG spoke to him earlier outside the Etihad Stadium. If you were here wandering around, you might have seen them. But let's get Gael Clichy's thoughts on Manchester City and the game today against Liverpool.
Thank you very much. As you can see, I'm outside at the East Stand, and something very, very special is happening with Etihad Airways. We're here celebrating Endless Asia. Behind us, we've got 6 destinations with food for people to come and try. So if you're watching this on Matchday, come over and have a look. And you can see beside me, all the way from Abu Dhabi, our Etihad cabin crew are joining us. First things first, welcome to Matchday Live, both of you. What can fans expect when they come over here?
Thank you very much. Fans can play 6 mini games and they can win some prizes. They can also try the food from each destination.
When you say the 6 mini games, I'll ask you, I've got this in my hand here, and you can collect stamps. If they do collect the stamps, all of them today, what can they potentially win?
So hello, first of all. So they can win 2 tickets to one of these 6 new destinations that we have on Asia from Etihad Airways.
6 new destinations and a chance for you guys to go and win it. So make sure you come over here. Thank you very much for joining us on Matchday Live. And I'm going to pan over and say it's with great pleasure to say making his Matchday Live debut is Manchester City legend. Thank you, Gael. Gael Clichy. First things first, we're here at the Etihad store. How's your day been so far?
Really good. Tried a lot of foods, meeting new people, and getting ready for the game, really.
New destinations from Etihad as well. I mean, 6 of them here today. Is there any that you've got your eye on?
Yeah, Hong Kong for sure. And pretty soon, actually, I'm going to call the president and tell him I need a plane to go there.
Listen, whatever Gael Clichy wants, Gael Clichy gets. All right, let's talk about your time at Manchester City. It was absolutely incredible. We loved watching you play. You were part of history. I mean, probably a question you get asked a lot. What was your favourite moment?
You know, you can answer that question for me.
The iconic photo as well.
Yeah, that was special. But you know what? I think at the time we couldn't really picture what was coming after, and what the boys and the club overall and the players that played for the game over the last 10 years, what they've been doing is just phenomenal. So excited for the game today.
When you look at, like you said, you couldn't have seen what was coming in the future. At that moment when you'd gone on to win that first Premier League title and you see how far we've come, we've now got a manager who's managed 1,000 games. It'll be his 1,000th game as a manager in charge. What do you make of what he's done here?
Well, overall, I think you can always debate, what you like, who's the best, but he is class, in part of the probably best 3 in the world ever. And I remember when he signed, when we got the news that he was coming, the excitement around the club, not just the dressing room, but the club, was just for everybody to see. And he's a special guy, and you don't win this much trophies if you are not that special, and he's definitely that special.
Absolutely. I mean, one man who's also special is our left back, who's recently been called up for England, Nico O'Reilly. He was a midfielder. He's playing at left back. I mean, you know the position so well, of course. I mean, how well do you think he's adapted?
I mean, to play under Pep, you need to be special. But the tricky thing is that, you can be fantastic playing for Pep and then going to England with a different structure, and it could be a difficult situation, but he's got everything. I mean, the talent that he has going forward, he's a strong lad, and when you think that it's not even his position yet, you can only kind of project yourself into, not even years, but in few months, it's going to be enormous. So can't wait to see this. Hopefully today he's having a great performance. The rest, the future is in his hand to be great.
Absolutely amazing words. I'll end with, of course, the game today. Manchester City Liverpool, a massive fixture, a massive rivalry. You were involved in some rivalries with Manchester United in your time when we were trying to win the league. When you see the other teams, especially Arsenal, at top of the league, drop points, does that add motivation to this fixture?
Definitely. Both teams will need to win the points, will want to win the points, because like you said, Arsenal drop points and it's the moment to kind of close that gap. I do feel the improvement over the last couple of weeks for City is encouraging, and I think they're just going to go from strength to strength. So I can't wait, because we felt and we've seen what the team is capable of doing, and this is a new team, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have some very good surprise towards the end of the season.
Listen, the energy this man's got, you can tell that he went on to have such a fantastic career, and you have to join us again on Matchday Live. We've been anytime.
Desperate
to have you on, so thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's head back to the studio, myself and Manchester City legend Gael Clichy.
Thanks, FG, and what a treat to have Gael Clichy on the show. Thank you so much for joining us, Gael. And here we are. The boys are out on the pitch. Erling Haaland has got a smile on his face. He's getting excited, of course, for this fixture as we welcome Liverpool here to the Etihad Stadium. 4:30 kickoff. That is your starting 11 on the bottom of your screen. Now, as we know, these fixtures have never disappointed. And if you tuned in at the start of the show, you'll have seen that we are running a poll. And if you've just tuned in, now I'm telling you. And the poll is looking at some of the best games against Liverpool here at the Etihad Stadium. You had 4 to choose from. We've had over 5,000 votes so far, so keep them coming in. And we're now going to settle it down to 2, and you guys can choose which one comes out on top. So the final 2 that you've chosen is September 2017. It was a 5-0 win. I mean, and this was an emphatic game, wasn't it, Paul?
Yeah, it was. It was. It just really stamped our authority and how good we were, because Liverpool were creeping up.
Yes, yeah.
At this point, they weren't nowhere near as good as they were a couple of seasons afterwards, but it just sort of put them back in their place a little bit, and the goals, the play that day, I mean, it ended up being 5. It couldn't. Leroy Sané, what a player he was.
Yeah.
It ended up 5. It could have been it could have been a cricket score that day.
Yeah, it really could have been. I mean, also, even Sane as well was almost felt unplayable, didn't he?
Yeah, he had everything as a that you want in a winger. His directness, but also the quality at the end. And if that goal that we just saw there, like the control, the technique, everything about it was beautiful, and he caused them ample problems in this game. And it was one of those days where you feel if they get an opportunity in front of goal, the ball was going to end up in the back of the net, and that's why Paul said that it could have been a cricket score. But when you got Morrison and people like that in the team, with the quality they produced and on the form that they were on, they will hurt and destroy anybody.
Yeah. I mean, both in these games as well, actually, two of the players that felt unplayable were Mahrez and Julian Alvarez. This is the 4-1 win in April 2023. And it just seemed to all click, didn't it? We were electric this day as well, Shaun.
And that's what they need today, I think, to play a team like Liverpool, no matter what form they're in. You have to have those qualities, and the qualities shown in both games that we obviously highlighted what was at its maximum, was at its peak powers. And Jack in the last game played outstanding, and he got his goal at the end of it. And I think, like I said, I don't want to keep saying it, but we need to see that today. Yeah,
I agree.
We need
to
see it.
If you were voting on the poll, which you guys can do, anyone who's watching, you can go and cast your vote. You've got to choose between that 5-0 win in September 2017 or the 4-1 win in April 2023. Where would you be casting your vote, Paul?
I would go for the 2-1 win. Seriously, I'm gutted it's not on there.
I think it was part of the. It was part of the 4, but it's not made the final 2.
One down, and then Aguero scores from the tight angle. And
that unbelievable finish,
and then, Leroy Sané's winner just in front, as the roof came off the Etihad that day.
Yeah, popped.
The atmosphere was unbelievable. I think we'd probably have to go with the 4-1.
4-1.
Because Liverpool were a much better team then, and a much stronger team. So I think to beat any Liverpool team at that point, never mind 4-1, was a big statement.
Yeah, Shaun?
I was going to say the same, the 4-1.
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. There's our votes in the studio. Sorry that the 2-1 didn't make it, Paul, but there we go. If you want the 4-1 or the 5-0, go and cast your vote on there. We're going to reveal, just before we go over to our commentary team for the game, which one you have chosen. Now, there's quite a few Dutch representatives in both matchday squads. I mean, of course, you've got Arne Slot. There's also 5 players across both the teams. And in honour of that, we sat down with our very own Dutchman, Tijani Reinders. What a start to his Manchester City career. Also, for me, one of the best smiles in football. We sat down with him though to play a little game of higher or lower.
Now it's funny because almost every match you play against a Dutch player.
So first one is Robin van Persie. If you were going to guess, how many Premier League appearances do you think he made?
I think 250.
Not far off, 280. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. So did he make more appearances than Van Persie or less?
I think more. Yeah, that's not bad. Good start. I don't come up with the name.
George Boateng.
Oof.
So he played for Aston Villa and Middlesbrough in the Premier League, predominantly.
And you won't tell me how many seasons, huh? I think more, maybe. More. It's a lot. Verge. Oof. Yeah, more. Lower.
3 words to describe Virgil van Dijk.
Leader, strong, massive. Edwin van der Sar. Oeh. It's a tough one. I think more. Bergkamp. Less.
It's higher.
Higher?
315. Very close.
Yeah, come on, man. Because of my dad, I always had to watch highlights of Dennis Bergkamp when I was younger. Nathan Ake. Nathan. So, he played his whole life in England. Or almost his whole career. Or he did. How many did Bergkamp play?
315.
15. Oh, this one is difficult. I think less.
Correct. Would you put a number on it?
I think between the 200 and 300. Let me say 260.
240, so not far off.
Not far.
How's Nathan helped you settle in?
very good. Like especially in the beginning, helping me settling in the group or outside of football with houses and stuff, picking me up as well to drive me to training. No, he helped me a lot. He's a top guy. Dirk Kuyt. Les. Wijnaldum. More.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
217.
Oh, that's not that big difference, but yeah, more. Babel. Less.
What are we saying about the hairstyle?
No, he can't. He can wear it. He has the aura, the trust in himself. You know. He was one of my favorite players when I was young, when he played for Ajax. To be honest. Van Nistelrooy, yeah, more. For me, it was like when I was younger, I always watched the highlights of the Premier League. So it was always a dream to play there at this stage. Now this is the highest stage to play. So that's why I think most of the Dutch players want to make a move to the Premier League. Now it's funny because almost every match you play against a Dutch player, but now it's always nice to play against your Dutch teammates from the national team and to see them and yeah, to have a quick chat, and on the pitch it's far.
The best smile in football, no?
I find
he smiles when he talks.
And no, yeah.
It's incredible.
And best smile in football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Thanks,
I'll give you that.
If you've just tuned in, thank you for joining us on Matchday Live alongside the two greats in Paul Dickov and Shaun Wright-Phillips, and we are building up to this 4:30 kickoff against Liverpool. I'm nervous, but I'm very excited. Just behind us, you can see the players are warming up, and even just in these little bits here, you see the quality that is on show, even just in the warm-ups. We are in for a very, very high-quality game today, it feels like, Paul.
We are. The technical ability of something on Friday. I mean, I've just looked over my shoulder and Erling's just stuck one in the top corner from 25 yards. So,
okay. That's a good omen.
Yeah, it is. There's so much high quality in both teams that I think we're going to have a fantastic game. And I'm loving this as well, because a lot of the times you see the players when they're warming up, Shaun, that they're not necessarily doing any drills, they're just getting themselves ready. They're doing little patterns of play here.
Yeah, and I think that you can see that's grown in the game.
Yeah.
If you think about the patterns of play and the people that's putting the ball in the box and the runs they're making and the movement, it's creating habits. Mm-hmm. I think in football, in many ways, you need to be a creature of habits. You need to know where your players are without having to look, and it's all coming together nicely, I feel.
And it's repetition. The stuff they're doing there, they would have done in training all week, just before the game, and all of a sudden there'll be a position or a situation in the game where these spaces will happen, and because the repetition have been doing it, actually it'll just take its way. And I like that.
But my younger brother actually pointed this out for the Dortmund. In the Dortmund game in particular, it felt like we were seeing them patterns that you were talking about, and at times Dortmund, you couldn't do anything about it.
That doesn't happen just because you've got good players.
Nah.
It comes through things in the training ground, talking about it in the changing room, and especially just before the game. This is just a little reminder of them. This is what we've been working at all week.
Yeah.
Just before they go back into the changing room for the kick-off, so it's all fresh in their heads.
We have, of course, got a lot of Premier League games happening today. Let me bring you up to date on those scores and some huge results here. Aston Villa beating Bournemouth 4-0. Brentford, after going 1-0 down against Newcastle, 3-1 up. Palace and Brighton 0-0, and Nottingham Forest beating Leeds 3-1. I mean, Bournemouth from flying high, all of a sudden with those two results dropping down to 9th. I mean, it is still all very, very tight. Of course, I mean, seeing Sunderland there in 4th is quite amazing, and what a result for them yesterday. Does that make it even more important for us to try and get those 3 points today, Shaun? Not to ask an obvious question, but I have just done that.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's massively important to kind of close that gap, keep some pressure on Arsenal, because there will be other mistakes happening along the season, and when teams do drop points or make those mistakes, you have to be ready to pounce. And I know it's against Liverpool, but Liverpool will be thinking the same thing as City. This is time now to kind of close the gap and keep on their coattails.
You look at how tight that is, though.
Amazing, isn't it?
You know, 3 points from 2nd down to 10th.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that makes it, and both change rooms will be saying the same thing. You know, City players will be saying, look, we could go 4 points behind Arsenal, but create a little gap against the team below us. And Liverpool changing room and like, look, we can go above City. we can jump into second place by then.
Yeah.
That's how close it is at the minute.
Yeah. The quality's unbelievable. And also, and I say, not to point out again, but the two, I know Bournemouth have dropped, but it is great to see your likes of Bournemouth. I know Palace as well, they've kind of, they're doing up, but Sunderland seem to be the standout kind of start of the season performance.
They've been brilliant in terms of they've got an old school element to them. Like they're quite robust, they're strong, they're physical, they stick with their long throws, but the way they counter-attack as well is scary. And I was with Defoe a couple of weeks back, and we had like a talk about it, and he said he had to go up there and kind of meet them and give them a talk. And the one thing he said to them is, on your counter-attacks, finish your action. And that's what it seems like they're doing, and they're benefiting from it. And it puts them in a more comfortable, safe feeling position come Christmas, because we know at some point there will be a dip in that form. I hope not for them, but it's football.
Naturally it happens.
It's football, especially with teams that come up. But they're in a position now where they can say, right, 13 more points, 15 more points, and they're not going to get relegated.
Yeah.
So then you see them start to relax, and you see better things coming from them.
I seen an interview with the manager the other week there, and he didn't say he didn't care about the away games. He stressed the importance of winning your own games, and then if you can pick anything up in your away games, that's going to be a bonus. And you look at their home form with the crowd and everything else, it's been outstanding.
Yeah, really have. I mean,
if they win their home games, teams that have been promoted, and I've been there myself, that if you win your home games, the pressure of the away games is so much more off you. And you can go away to any team in the Premier League and get beat, but you've got that feeling that it's not all that bad, because you know your home form's that good in front of the fans, and you're picking up 3 points. So even I don't know who they've got next after the international break, probably be a game away after being at home. But the pressure's off for that game for them already, because they've got that 3 points in the bag already.
They've got points,
that's so true. Tell you what, I'm not that sort of game I'm not looking forward to. New Year's Day at Stadium of Light, and then we've got them here, I think like middle of December, and then New Year's Day we'll be there up in Sunderland. That'll be a tasty fixture.
Yeah, it will. But like I said to you off air, if they go there with the mentality I went there with when I came back from Chelsea, it'll be all happy days, won't it?
There we go. Thank you, Shaun. Right, Jen, shall we play a little game? And it's in honour... Yes, Shaun.
Depends what game it is, doesn't it?
So, of course, we are celebrating Pep's 1,000 game in charge in football, which is an incredible milestone, an amazing feat. So in honour of that, we're asking you to name the players that have played most under Pep in a Manchester City shirt. We've gone with his favoured formation 4-3-3. Should we begin with the keeper? Who's his most capped keeper?
Edison.
Good start, yeah. Paul, you always crack me up. You always, even when you know it, you still ask. You say it so tentatively. Okay, then we can move. Do you want to go to right back?
Kyle.
Yeah, I would say Walks.
Correct. 2 out of 2, gents. Now, who would be...
Stones.
John Stones. Correct.
I didn't think he had played this much, but I was going to go with Diaz.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think when Ruben's...
Yeah?
I'll go Ruben,
Yeah, Ruben Diaz. Now, the left back, let's say that we're adopting is what he did in the Champions League. He was more of a centre-half, but he played on the left-hand side a few times.
He played on the left-hand side a few times.
Yeah, he played left back a couple of times, but he was more like the left-sided centre-back, but he did play left back.
Ake? No.
Not Ake.
Akanji?
Not Akanji.
Josko?
My producer Graham's in my ears going, the door. French for the door?
French for the door.
That was the name.
See, it's a ridiculous game for a start. So you're saying you've got him in at left back when he's not a left back.
Can we come back to it?
He's probably played 2 games at left back out of his 180. You've just chucked him in there.
No, he played more than that.
Who's done this game?
Cancelo.
No comment. Who?
Cancelo.
No. There's a big one you missed. He was a great player, but arguably probably the best at playing with the ball out from the back. Ball playing centre half. Signed in January. From Spain.
When this January?
No.
Way back.
There we go.
Never a left back.
Absolute. That's what I mean. It's centre back.
Right, now we're going into mid. Well, you wait till we get up to the top half of the pitch. Here we go, though. Midfield. Who are we going for?
On the basis of this, I'll go Sergio centre midfield. He's probably dropped in there at some point.
Who are you saying, Kevin?
Yeah.
Kevin is on there, absolutely. 381 times on the Pep. Bernardo, yep.
Rodri.
And we put sorry.
What's going on here?
Oh my God.
Rodri, yeah. There's another I know you got one more centre midfielder. You're really not going to be happy with one of the strikers.
Fernandinho.
That's what I would thought.
Oh, actually, yeah. Sorry. Does the silhouette help? The silhouettes are in there.
Yeah, that's what I've been looking at today.
Who do we think that is in our right centre midfield? First signing for Pep.
Okay,
Gundogan. Okay, 2 more to get.
So I can't wait for one of these.
Can't believe it.
Sergio's got to be one.
Not under.
Sergio's not in it, so. Surprisingly.
How long's Holland been there? 3-4 years. He's played a lot of games.
Yeah, it's not. No.
Appearances. Phil.
Correct.
It's the head shake.
Who do you think the other striker is? It's not his natural position, but anyway.
See, you're laughing.
Sterling.
Raheem.
Well done.
Sterling.
So there we are. They are the players that played most under Pep. That is a hell of a team. By the way, that is a hell of a team, isn't it?
It's a scary team.
It's almost as much as a joke as that competition.
Now, there has been a little treat for people coming to the Etihad Stadium today. We have had our matchday programme today. It's been taken over by band The Doves. They have been the editors of the programme. So let's see what FG has made of that.
Yes, indeed, Kel. The special guests keep on coming because I'm joined by Andy and Jez, the Doves, who have guest edited today's programme.
That's right.
Amongst the amazing things you've also done at this club before, I mean, first things first, how did it feel to be guest editing this? What was the experience like?
We loved it. We can't believe they let us loose, really, on it.
What were they thinking?
I know, we could barely spell. Luckily they're good at spelling. So.
There is no spelling mistakes in this programme, by the way, and it's absolutely fantastic. Listen, we're here pitchside. It's a massive game, Manchester City versus Liverpool.
It's a biggie.
I mean, you guys have been involved in the club for so long. We're hearing your music all the time. The last time at Main Road as well. What's it been like watching City on this journey?
Wow. It's been like heart in the mouth. It's been depressing. It's been triumphant. It's like every emotion. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. We were at Death's Door in Division 2. Do you remember that one in Gillingham?
A long time ago.
Long time ago, but we got back up to Division 1 with the Dickov late goal, and now you fast forward, now look at us, we're playing Liverpool, and we're going to beat this one 3-1.
We're going back into a golden period, hopefully, again, aren't we? Would you say?
I would say so.
Yeah.
We're in the golden period
for Pep Guardiola as well as a manager, which is incredible. Speaking of Paul Dickov, by the way, he's watching this and he's in our studio, which is just up there if you want to send him a message.
Paul, you're a legend.
Alongside Shaun Wright-Phillips as well.
Another legend.
Shaun Wright-Phillips, yes. Good times.
Yes. Good times.
Good times. Both brilliant players, both, great ambassadors for the club.
Well, absolutely, as are you guys. What's it like hearing your music around and fans reacting to it?
Amazing. I mean, we were lucky enough to close Main Roads when it shut, and we were lucky enough to play the last game, really. So the history in us goes way back, and City are very close to our heart, isn't it? It's part of our history, and we're just glad to share it with Manchester. Well, it's amazing.
We're so glad to share this moment with you as well. Finally, before we head back to the studio, what is next for you two? Because you're guest editing programmes now as well. Is there anything that you can't do?
What were they thinking?
Could be the first and last time they let us do anything.
Hopefully it's not. Hopefully we paved the way for other artists.
Next week we're touring in December. We're playing one of our favourite venues, Apollo in Manchester, on the 20th, the Saturday before Christmas. So and just that's the back writing, new record, and just onwards.
Onwards and upwards. We can't wait to see more from you. Thank you very much, and thank you very much as well for guest editing the programme. If you're watching on MatchDay and you haven't got a hand of this, get a hold of it. It's a collector's item. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much. Nice one.
Wow, what a sight that is. How beautiful does she look there? The Etihad Stadium as well. Really exciting to see the expansion there just coming into view there behind her. That brand new North Stand almost will be open, hopefully very early on in the new year. And when you do come down to the Etihad, do go have a little look to see what is being built behind it as well. It's all very, very exciting. You can see on the screen there, it's Manchester City versus Liverpool, 4:30 kickoff. Flown by, gents. We've only got 10 minutes to go. Also, another lovely little shout out for you both there. You're getting a lot of compliments today, gents.
It is, yeah.
It was nice.
Very nice. It's very.
Here we go.
Very nice.
Do you have a favourite Doves track, Shaun?
No, I don't. I honestly don't. But you knew that before he asked me that.
Clip that up for me, please.
There's nothing wrong with telling the truth.
No. Do you not fancy a bit of the... You don't,
no, I don't really listen to that sort of music, to be honest with you.
Anyway, that's really tickled me. I'm gonna get you an album for Christmas.
I'm from South London, grime guy, aren't I?
Come on.
I like my grime.
Paul, we know how exciting these games are, but is there an element as well where managing the emotions is also just as important when it comes to a game like this?
Yeah, it is, but you do want your emotions to be high.
Yeah.
You know, you want to make sure you're up for it. You should be up for every game, don't get me wrong, but these big games, especially, in the rivalry we've had between Liverpool the last, I think the experienced ones know how to handle it. It's how the ones who are just coming into this fixture for the first time, you know, obviously talking about Cherki, Wirtz, Ekitike, these sort of players, they've probably never been in an atmosphere like this before, in a game as big as this before in their careers. So you're looking for your experienced ones in the team to help them through it, but you want them to really rise to that occasion at the same time as well.
Yeah, and I guess as well, you know, that's where you look to your likes of your Bernardo Silva or your players around you to ride you through it and kind of, set the standard and the tone.
Yeah, you do, but I think, like Paul said earlier about Bernardo, what he does excellently as a captain is he leads by example. He's not a shower, he just does it with the football and without the football, and I think players will follow suit in that.
Yeah. We're just seeing here, sorry Shaun as well, I was just getting distracted, realised they're playing out the little VT that we started at the start of our show. Oh, there we are. How cool is that? Hello. There we are, that's cool, isn't it? But this is in honour, of course, Pep Guardiola taking charge of his 1,000th game in management. It's quite tricky to say 1,000th, isn't it?
1,000.
To be fair, Georgia was in there trying, practicing as well.
Okay, thanks for that. Now, before we get some final thoughts from our guests, we've been running a poll. We've been asking you for what has been your favourite Manchester City-Liverpool game here at the Etihad Stadium. And the winner, with a lion's share of the votes after starting with 4, goes to the 5-0. 40% went for the 5-0, 5 goals. Of course, this was in 2017. That's Paul said as well. Absolutely unplayable. It was electric.
Joke. This pass was incredible.
Beautiful.
That pass was incredible.
From Fernandinho. Yeah. And as you said as well, Paul, that was at the start when they said, could Aguero and Jesus play together?
People were questioning about it, and I remember watching it live and thinking Sergio's just shut everybody up there.
There and then.
Because he would have scored himself there.
Yeah.
Without that noise coming from outside, and he just thought, we'll show everybody that we're together here.
Yeah. Well, listen, gents, teams are in the tunnel, so can I please get predictions from you before we hand over?
I'm honestly, for once, not going to give one today.
Shaun?
It's your job.
Shaun?
It's your job, mate.
No, I'm not going to give a prediction. Shaun. I don't want to jinx.
Give me a prediction, please. You have to give a prediction, it's tradition.
2-1 City.
Nice.
3-1 City.
Love that, Paul. There we go. Right, lads are going out in the tunnel, so I'll hand over to your commentary team, of course, as well, in this very special fixture, which is taking place on Remembrance Sunday. Thank you for joining us. Last thing for me to say is come on, City.
It is a day of enormous significance for Pep Guardiola as City's most successful ever manager racks up the 1,000th game of his stunning management career. It also happens to be his 550th as City's leader. Today he goes in search of the 716th win of his extraordinary coaching journey, seeking to put the Blues up to second in the table and close the gap to 4 points on the leaders Arsenal. All that said, Pep is up against a club who've given him more problems than any other in Liverpool, But after years of the Merseysiders forcing City up to higher and higher standards, the boss says it's fitting that they are today's Milestone visitors. Well, his 1,000th selection sees 3 alterations to the 11 which beat Dortmund on Wednesday in the Champions League. Ruben Diaz returns to defence, Ryan Cherki in support of Erling Haaland, while Bernardo Silva's back to captain the side, and in so doing is now in 3rd place in the all-time Premier League City appearance list. A 3rd milestone sees Jeremy Doku clock up his 100th for the Blues. Well, Arne Slot was sufficiently content with his side's win against Real Madrid on Tuesday that he keeps faith with the same 11. It means Andy Robertson retains his place ahead of Milos Kerkez for only his 2nd league start this season. It's a side which contains City's nemesis Mo Salah, 13 goals and 8 assists he's provided against the Blues in his 8 hugely successful years at Anfield. Well, as Pep Guardiola makes his way out to the field, alongside me is the former City captain Andy Morrison. Andy, Liverpool beat City home and away last season. What tells you that this could be different?
Coming into the game, Ali, the form that we're in, the goals, players at the top of their game, Foden, Doku and Haaland, and everybody else just fitting in around that. There's a much different energy than there was last year. I thought it was quite apologetic, the performance, and 2-0 we were happy to just leave at that point and get away from the stadium. It's a totally different time now, and the squad is strong and everybody seems to be available and fit. Great time to be playing Liverpool.
Well, today's Remembrance Sunday as we reflect on the enormous sacrifices that others have made for our modern day freedoms. And we will pause our commentary as we have all the significant Remembrance commemorations.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
So Remembrance Sunday fittingly commemorated, and the sound of the bugler and the huge popping